So now we're into multi-step equations. So remember, it's the same idea as single step or double step that you've done lots of, but you may need to do more than two things. So you always start on one side and you see, is there anything that I can do? Combine, distribute, anything that I can get done on the one side. And I see I could distribute here. So I'm going to distribute the 3 to the x and the 3 to the 1, and that's what it means. Remember, when we have brackets and a number outside, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times positive 1 is positive 3, equals negative 7. There's nothing else to do over there, so I can just bring that all down. Now this looks like one of my double step problems. I need to get rid of these 3's, and I need to decide which comes first, remembering that the thing that's furthest away, not the strongest bond like multiplication, but the thing furthest away we want to pick off first. So the opposite of adding 3 is subtracting 3. So now I have 3x equals negative 10. Now I can take care of my 3, divide by 3, divide by 3, and I'm left with x equals negative 10 over 3. If I put that into a calculator, it'll be a decimal, so we want to keep it as a fraction, as well as this is as simplified as that fraction can go. This question below is 3x plus 7 equals 5x plus 2. So looking on both sides, I see that there's nothing that can go together here, and there's nothing that can go together here, but I do notice that I have variables, or in this case x's, on both sides. So I want to pick one side up and get all of those x's together. So here I have positive 5x's. So the opposite of positive 5x's is negative, or taking away 5x's. So I'm going to take away the 5x's on that side, and then I need to make sure that I do that on this side as well. So now I have 3x minus 5x is negative 2x, and then I still have that plus 7 there. Oops, just 7. And on the other side, I just have the positive 2. So now I can get rid of the 7 here. Subtract 7, subtract 7. I'll get that negative 2x equals negative 5. I can divide both sides by negative 2 to get rid of that with the x. And my final answer, I'm just going to clean up to be x equals 5 over 2 because I have a negative divided by a negative. So that just becomes a positive number. Again, looking at one side first, is there anything I can do to combine or distribute? And I see that I can distribute. So I can go 2x plus 8, because that's 2 times x, and 2 times 4, equals nothing to combine over here, so that's just 4x plus 3. Now I can move things over. Remember, it doesn't matter which side I move the x's to, as long as they're alone on one side. So this time I'm going to move over the x's that are here. I have positive 2x. I'm going to subtract 2x to get rid of them here, and then subtract 2x here. So I have 8 equals 2x plus 3. I'm going to subtract my 3, subtract my 3. I'm going to move over here to get that 5 on the left equals 2x. The last step is to get rid of that 2 by dividing both sides by 2. It doesn't matter what side the x is on, but I can just clean that up and write it as x equals 5 over 2. Okay. Your last problem on your multi-step, if you look at the left side, you want to check, can anything be put together or distributed? And I see that I've got 4 m's and 3 m's. So it's a total of 7 m's I have. So I might as well write it as 7 m's so it's not as complicated. And I have a negative 2 and a plus 1. So if I have minus 2 and I add 1, I've got minus 1. So it just cleans up that side. And then on the right side, I see I've got an m here and 3 m's here. It's a total of 4 m's. And then just a plus 7 that's left. Now I can start to move things around to get all of my variables, or my m's, on one side. So I want to get rid of the 4 m's on this side and move them over here. So subtract 4m on both sides. So I'll have 3m minus 1 equals 7. I'm going to add 1 to move stuff away from that m. So I get 3m equals 8. Get rid of that 3 by dividing by 3 and dividing by 3. And I'm left with m equals 8 over 3.